morning, YouTube. Today is our second to last day before break. I am so excited for break, but I do have some really exciting things planned for my students today. So I thought today would be a nice day just to show you some of the things that I do for my students that's special over the course of the holidays. I do have a first period duty, so I do not have the ability to show you everything right at the get-go, but I thought I would just check in with you and tell you a little bit about what's been going on. First up, my honors chemistry students are studying covalent compounds. We are working on a station set. They're going to finish the station set today, and then they're going to take an exit ticket. I will show you what the station set looks like, of course, like I usually do. As far as what special surprise I have planned for my one class today, my AP students will be working on just things that they need to work on in order to get caught up. I don't want them to have any homework of any kind over break, so I'm giving them an opportunity to have a kind of a work day in class. And I always feel like it's kind of like coffee house vibes. So I thought it would be really fun if I made them some hot chocolate today. So I'm going to be making them one of these just easy recipes. It's called crock pot hot chocolate. I did make these cute little hot chocolate order forms, right? So aren't they so cute? And then they can check off if they want a candy cane, whipped cream, marshmallows, sprinkles. It's a lot easier for me to do this with my AP students because I have less students in those classes. For tomorrow, I do have a surprise for my honors chemistry students. I won't be able to do an entire thing of hot chocolate for them because there's just too many students in the class. Instead, I actually have hot chocolate pods. So I have 2 Keurigs that I'm bringing in, and my students will have an opportunity to make hot chocolate. I also have an option for tea. So they'll have a whole bunch of different choices. But today and really tomorrow, I'm gonna play barista, and I'm going to basically serve my students hot chocolate while they work. I hope my students are as excited as I am, but I want them to be very surprised, and I think they will be. So in any event, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to kind of prep all the things that I can prep for my class later on. During my lunch period, I'll show you how I make the hot chocolate, and then we'll kind of go from there. And then after school, I have another thing planned, which I was kind of talking about earlier. I am making some stuff for my honors chemistry students too. So I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Well, life update, it's been a little crazy around here because we have a water issue in the school. At my home, I live pretty close to school, but at my home we have well water, so we didn't get any kind of notification. But when I came in this morning, there was an issue about our water. Not really sure entirely what's going on. I guess the water smells weird, the water tastes weird. So at this point, I am freaking out just a little because I need water to do the things that I'm doing with my students today. So I am kind of a little stressed out, but I will check in with you in a little bit and let you know if I find out a resolution. I guess worst case scenario, I could just run out to the shop right during my prep period and grab some water. Well, fortunately, I already have some distilled water made, so I am going to be able to use that water. It's kind of weird, we're even told not to boil it or anything, but I have water that I made a while ago, so I'm just going to end up using that, so that works out fine. But definitely tomorrow, I don't know if they're going to lift this water advisory, but I think tomorrow I'm definitely going to have to bring in some bottled water. So that's good. At least I can use my prep period to actually prep the things that I'm doing with my kids. But before I do that, what I want to do is show you the station set that my students are working on today. This is our last day of stations. They've been working on it the last 2 days. I already finished with my period 2 class. They took their exit ticket. They did very well on it. I have to share the results with them, but I'll do it after my period 4-5 takes it. But in any event, let me show you what my kids have been working on, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about the surprises that I've planned today. This is station 1. This is a covalent bonding tutorial that is from Chem Think. I wrote a bunch of questions that go with this. It's very interactive for the students, so I like to do this. And then what they do is they scan the QR code in order to get to that tutorial, and then they answer the questions as they go through the sim. This station is describing the difference between ionic and covalent compounds. So I've got some cards here that the students have to sort. They'll sort into 2 different groups, right? And then what they do is they examine the differences between the types of bonding. Again, there's a bunch of questions that were written with this, and it introduces the idea of sharing electrons as opposed to transferring electrons. It also introduces the duet rule for hydrogen and unshared pairs versus shared pairs. So this is a very good station for the students because it'll introduce all those basics of ionic versus covalent bonding. And then this station is a game station. So this was similar to my ionic bonding game. The only difference now is we're looking at covalent compounds. So the idea with this is that the students will be showing that these atoms are going to share electrons. They can move their chip over, for example, to show that they're sharing. And then what I do, which is kind of hard with my one hand here, but what you do is then you can push the cards together like you see here. So this is a really nice visual to kind of see that one atom will, or each atom, I should say, donates one electron to the bond. And I do list these in order of increasing difficulty. So they're going to be working with HCl. I do have like F2 cards, so they'll be doing that. I have them do HCN, that's the hardest one. And then I have formaldehyde and then carbon dioxide. And again, they have to move these chips around so that each atom has an octet of electrons. Station 4 is learning about covalent names and formulas. This is a look at game that I put together. I love this because the students are actually learning the rules for naming covalent compounds using the game. So in the student sheet that I have them complete, I actually tell them play the game first and then they derive the rules from the game. So this is a really fun thing for the kids. So this is just a look at game. They log in, they can play it asynchronously, and then they can get the rules. And then there's like a little practice that goes along with it where the students can practice what they learned. This station introduces Lewis structures. So this station I put out last. So meaning my students had a couple of days with the other stations, and then I wanted them to get acclimated to, you know, again, what a covalent bond might look like in terms of different models, like for example, in the game station and what we saw in the other station with comparing covalent and ionic compounds. But now this takes them through the steps for drawing Lewis structures. So I created this, it's a very simple tutorial, but the students again can go through it asynchronously, and they just scan the QR code, and it's a presentation that I published to the web, and there are questions that go along with it as well. The other thing that I created for my honor students so that they have some extra practice is this extra practice worksheet. So this is just, again, practice drawing Lewis structures. I really like what I'm doing now with worksheets in that I'm providing some context and some information, and I'm also sharing the rules so that it makes it easier for them to practice. And there's only 10 molecules. You can see it's not a whole lot, but, and then the other thing that I'm doing on my worksheets, which again helps to scaffold if the students need some explicit instruction, is I'm posting QR codes to videos where I'm explaining certain problems. This particular worksheet, I want to say I go over 6, 7, and 8, and I like doing this because there's really no excuse to not be putting your best effort forward with something like this, especially if the explicit instruction is provided to the students. So I've been doing this with all of my worksheets, and these are all the same worksheets that are obviously in, you know, my 5E bundles, but I've been really enjoying creating the videos, and it's pretty quick because, like I said, all you're doing is just going over the homework questions, and then I provide the QR code right on the worksheet, and they can scan it and they can check it. At this point, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of grading because my goal is to not have any grading over break so I can enjoy my break. But I will definitely check in with you during my lunch period to show you how I made the hot chocolate and tell you a little bit about the station set. It's hot chocolate time. My students are gonna be freaking out. I'm sure they're gonna be very surprised. So I've got this cart here of all of this stuff. So one of the things I have in this bag is I have marshmallows, and I need an entire bag of chocolate chips to make it. And then I've got my can of condensed milk. And then I've got hot chocolate. So I got all this stuff from Walmart. It is a lot cheaper. Everything was from Walmart, and I used that home delivery, so it was so easy to get everything. And then I'm gonna move this off. So that's that. And then I just put my Ninja on this little cart here because I can then wheel it in the back until I'm ready to actually use it with my students. I did bring in some sprinkles, and I do have whipped cream in the other room for my students as well. So right now I'm gonna make the hot chocolate. I need about 14 ounces of this. Then it'll simmer for about a half hour. I'll add the chocolate chips, and then I will just be able to serve it with the kids. So I'm going to make it right now, and then I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna set up this in my classroom. Okay, so I had to divert a little because I had to go to my food scale in the other room. But so now all you do, I've got water in here and I've got the hot chocolate mix. You just whisk it together, just whisk it really well. And like I said, it's going to heat for about a half hour. I'm going to add a can of condensed milk, and I'll definitely tell the students what's in it so that they know what's in it. I'm going to keep stirring. I'll add the condensed milk, and then I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Well, good morning, YouTube. I'm sorry I did not catch up with you yesterday after school. I had every intention, but then things got really crazy. So yesterday I left off with showing you how I, add the hot chocolate mix and whatnot. And so what happened was yesterday I tried to use the slow cooker feature, and I totally forgot to bring the correct lid with me. So with the Ninja series, they have like this, they tout this like 12-in-1, right? You could do all these things with it. And so to do a lot of the features, you need this other lid. So of course I forgot the lid at home. I was freaking out yesterday. I was like, oh my God. I was like, let me just try to use one of the other features on the Ninja so that I could see if I could actually get the hot chocolate hot. And it did work. It did work out. When the kids came in yesterday, I had the holiday music playing really loud. I love the Candy Cane Lane by Sia. That's like such a good song. So I had that playing. And then in the Do Now bin, I had those little hot chocolate cards where they checked off what they wanted. So they were like so excited about it. But I was definitely sweating because I was like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. I was just so concerned with using like a higher temperature that I was going to burn it. But the kids said it was very good. But today I did bring the correct lid. I made sure of that. Today it should hopefully go a little bit more smoothly. Unfortunately, we're still having problems with the water. So I think I'm going to have to pivot from what I was going to do with my honors class. And with my honors class, I was going to, I think I told you yesterday, provide, K-cups for them to make their own drink. So I had like tea and cider, and I had hot chocolate. So I think what's going to happen is when we come back from break, one of those days, I'll probably just surprise them with like a, maybe not so much like a holiday themed thing, but it'll be like a coffee house vibes, work day type of thing. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do it with honors. I'm debating whether or not I should tell them that. I mean, I do have a small gift for them, so I'll show you that too. And I don't know, I don't want them to feel bad, so that's why I think I might say, guys, I had something else planned, but with the water thing, I was not able to get my hands on enough water because everybody went out and bought all the water. It's hard for me. I feel bad, but when we come back, they'll be able to celebrate a little bit, and I'll do something special for them. Yesterday, I was supposed to catch up with you after school and just kind of chat with you while I was preparing some gifts for my honors students, but then I had 3 young ladies come in, and 2 of the ladies helped me with a project in the hallway. So before Thanksgiving break, I had my students design a tile, and it basically something that they were grateful for. And they had to include an atomic number, they had to include a symbol, and then they had to include some sort of picture. They designed it all in Canva, and then what these young ladies did is they helped me actually sort them and create this periodic table in the hallway, and it looks awesome. I would show you a picture of it, but unfortunately there are some pictures of students and there's pictures of their parents and stuff, so I didn't want to like put it on social media, obviously, but it turned out great. And the young ladies stayed late with me the day before Thanksgiving to help me. And I thought that was so sweet of them. They were so willing to help. And so they stayed with me, they helped me, and I wanted to get them a little gift. So I gave them a little gift yesterday, and then they saw that I had to prep a gift for my honors class, and they're like, we love doing this, can we help you? And I was like, sure. So the students helped me yesterday. So let me show you what they helped me do. I still have a few more that I need to prep, but I thought I would show you what they look like. I bought these little test tubes from Amazon. They're little like screw top test tubes, very cute. They are perfect for holding the right amount of hot cocoa. So what they did then is they filled it with hot cocoa, and then we put some chocolate chips in it, and then I had them tie a little ribbon around it. I made these on my Cricut, so they're very easy to make once you have it on the Cricut, but I thought these were kind of cute. They're like little gift tags for the kids. And so all they have to do is add it to some warm milk and they're good to go. So I thought these would be really cute. So I have a whole bunch made. I have some left. I'm not really sure if I'm going to need to prep all of these today because I'm not sure with absences and whatnot. Usually the day before break, attendance can be very low. So I don't think I'm going to necessarily prep these, but I might have to during my prep period, which is period 3 today. So we'll see how it goes. But I just really simple, really easy gift. And then just so you know too, the hot chocolate that I use and the chocolate chips were the same brand from Walmart. So it's the Great Value brand. I would say the most expensive thing was definitely the test tubes themselves, but right? I'm a chemistry teacher. I need to include that. So I thought this would be cute for them. I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna prepare for my second period class. That's Honors Chem. They have a short little quiz today, just like a little half sheet check-in thing, because we've been studying covalent compounds. They did the stations. They had their exit ticket formative yesterday. So today I think I'm just gonna give them like one Lewis structure to draw, maybe one naming, and then give them maybe something about properties of covalent compounds. So it'll be a quick and easy quiz. I'm gonna give them like the first half of the period to review their homework answers. I'm gonna have them use whiteboards to do that, and then they'll take the quiz. So it'll be really quick to grade. That way I don't have anything to grade over break. Like I said, a half sheet quiz is really, really quick. So it shouldn't be too bad. And then I have to prepare for my AP class. I am doing the hot chocolate in the crock pot for my period 7-8 today. So I will have more time to show you what I do. Obviously, I ended yesterday with showing you what I do, but I'll have a little bit more time to show you like what I actually do to create the hot chocolate, and then show you how I set up everything, because during my lunch period, I'll have the ability to actually show you like the tablecloth and all the things that I put out for the kids. I just finished up with my second period honors chemistry class. They were very understanding about why I wasn't able to do what I originally had planned for them today, so I did appreciate that. But I said, you know, here's a small token of appreciation, and I hope you have a wonderful break. I have 10 of the 23 test tubes prepped, but I need to prep some more, so I thought I would just talk to you while I do this. So I took all these test tubes, I put them in here. I'm going to take the tops off and kind of get those filled. So all you do is you just take the test tubes, the tops off, and then I add some hot chocolate to each of these. So I'll need about 13 of them. And then I've got this got it in here. I've got these funnels, right? So I'm just gonna fill each test tube with some hot chocolate, and then I have the chocolate chips that I'll put in there. I have the little twine, and then I also have these little things that I made. I don't know if I told you guys, but I made this on my Cricut. So I used the print then cut feature, and I was able to make this on my Cricut. So the kids thought they were so cute in my period too. So I'm glad that they enjoyed them. And I said, I definitely owe you one, and I'm sorry, but when we come back, we'll have something to look forward to. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep these really quick, and then I will talk to you a little bit about how I set it up when the kids came in. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll show you what I'm going to do to make the hot chocolate, because I'll have to start that early too. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit, but I'll show you at least some B-roll about how I like prep these. Chocolate is prepped for my EP class, so check, done. The only other thing that I'll have to do is I'll have to add the bag of chocolate chips. So there's like an entire bag of chocolate chips that you add to it. I added 14 ounces of hot chocolate mix, and then you add an entire can of condensed milk, and then I'll add the chocolate chips probably about 30 minutes before I see the kids. Right now I have it on low. But I'm going to probably turn it up to high once I add the chocolate chips. But I just wanted to get it started so that it'll be nice and warm by the time I see my students. The other thing that I have to do right now, which I'm going to do very quickly, is I'm going to make a second version of the quiz that I'll be administering to my honors class. I'll probably check in with you during my lunch period so I can show you how I set up my classroom so that I can serve my students the hot chocolate. Setup for my hot chocolate. So I've got my little crock pot here. This I had all the test tubes resting on, so I have an extra one left over, so I just left it there. I've got my marshmallows. These were so cute. These came from Home Goods, and they're just adorable. And my students will be able to select whether they want marshmallows or not. I have some candy canes. Oh, and I almost forgot, I actually have whipped cream too, so I have to go grab that from the fridge. But this is pretty much how I set things up for the kids. And what I'll do is I'll just grab their order form as they're sitting. They're going to be doing some work today, and I'm just going to grab their order form and I'll just make their drink and then give it to them. I made this sign using my Cricut. I thought it was kind of cute. I've been using it for the last couple of years. These little sprinkles came from Trader Joe's. They're so cute. They're like little Christmas sprinkles. This is how I ladle it out to the kids. So just like using a soup ladle. So this is pretty much how I set everything up and make sure that it's food safe by covering the lap bench. The only last little thing that I'll need to do, like I said, is grab the whipped cream. And then when my students come in, I'll be playing the holiday music full blast. And then they'll get a chance to select what they want to order, and then I'll bring it to them. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go grab something really quick to eat, and then I'll check in with you at the end of the day. If you're looking behind me, yes, it is almost dark out. It's about 4:30. I had a few students stop in, students that have graduated and finished their first semester as freshmen in college, and they were filling me in on how things were going. So I really didn't have a chance to clean up and do all the things that I wanted to do at the end of today, and then of course catch up with you all. So I was talking with them, and then I ended up cleaning up everything from the hot chocolate, so that is all good and ready to go. And I just didn't want to leave because I want to make sure that I clean up everything that I possibly can so I don't walk into a mess when I come back after break. That's really important to me. My environment is really important to me and my mental health, so I wanted to make sure that I had the ability to come in and just focus on getting ready for the first day back, because that is always very stressful. But all in all, today was a wonderful day. I had a great time with my students. My AP students absolutely love the hot chocolate. They were very excited, and I again promised my honor students that we would do something special for them when we come back, and I apologized up and down about the water situation, and they seemed very understanding. They were very thrilled to get the test tubes that had the hot chocolate in it, so I'm glad I was able to do that for them. So I think I'm going to end this vlog here. Nobody says that you need to do something special for your students during the holidays, right? Everything you do for your kids is more than enough, between just showing up for work every day, planning lessons, getting their work graded to them, providing extra help. Those are all things that you do that help to support your students. It's always nice if you have the ability or the time to do stuff like this, but that's not what makes you a great teacher. So please don't look at this video and say, gosh, I wish I could be just like her, because we're not the same person. But for me, my love language is gift giving. And so I do like to give gifts to my students. I love to give gifts to people that I care about, but that's just how I show my affections. And that's just one of the ways that I show it, besides all the other things. So please know that just because you don't do things like this for your kids, it doesn't mean that you're not as good of a teacher. This is just one way that I choose to show how much I care about my kids. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Again, these are just some things that I share to show you some things that I do in my classroom, and maybe you might choose to do something like this for your students in the future, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad teacher if you choose not to. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a very, very happy holiday season, and I will see you all next year.